everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today. We are having a reaction live stream. We are going to break down the new Toronto Blue Jays news that Bo Bichette has signed a multi-year deal buying out the remainder of his arbitration process. This is big news considering all of the drama that has been centered around Bo Bichette this entire offseason. The drama centered around this arbitration process. We are going to talk about it. We're going to break it down with all of y'all as it is happening right now.
Yeah.
Welcome in, folks.
Welcome in, guys. We'll show you guys some of these tweets that are coming out. We just got one from Ben Nicholson-Smith, but for rewatchability, let's start at the beginning. How did this all start? Why did this all start?
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at this tweet by Ben Nicholson-Smith. Let me make sure y'all can see the screen and y'all can hear us. Amazing.
Love it, love it, love it.
All right. So, Ben Nicholson-Smith, per sources, Blue Jays have now avoided ARB with Bo Bichette on a multi-year deal. So let's start with that. Let's just start with that right there. Good. He avoided arbitration.
Yes.
Obviously, this was going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly the amount of money as we're speaking, but it's a multi-year deal, and it looks like it's going to be 3 years to buy out the rest of his deal.
Which makes a ton of sense, right? Because he's got 3 years left on his arbitration deal. And just to circle back to the whole, he's, now he's under contract, right? We avoided arbitration. This is a good thing for a number of reasons. One, because it's dealt with. But two, we were talking on this show a little while ago. We were talking about Marcus Stroman. And we were talking about how with Marcus Stroman, this guy was the core of the Toronto Blue Jays back in, the 2015-2016 era, right? Like he was one of the man. He was the guy.
Homegrown talent.
Literally, right?
Yeah.
And then it all kind of started to fall apart. And he said that, the inception of that, where it all began, where the bad blood began, was during the arbitration process, where the team and him, they were trying to vie for, more or less money. So, first things first, just to see that Bo Bichette has not only dealt with the arbitration, but done it in a fashion that has locked him up for multiple years, says to me automatically that we went about this in the best possible way, and we are on good terms moving forward.
Because here's what I was going to throw in, just exactly what you said right there at the end. This was a move to please Bo Bichette's camp for the time being. Obviously, it's not the big extension, because obviously we've talked about it for a long time. The idea of an extension beyond his UFA years is still up for question.
Right.
There's still question marks about the defense, the consistency with the bat for sure. But this is just enough to please him so that he can focus on baseball. That's the thing. I feel like if you just settled the arbitration after having a bit of a sour taste in your mouth, you didn't give me what I wanted. I got whatever we settled on this year, but now I got to do it all again next year. Now I got a sour taste in my mouth where I got to prove myself to the team. I got to do maybe a little bit more. But now, just buying out the rest of his arbitration, knowing how much he's going to make, and coming to an agreement says that, hey, I can relax now and focus on baseball. That's it, man.
I completely agree, right? Because we got to factor in the human element here, guys. Bo Bichette was the only person on the Toronto Blue Jays who was doing this. Like, this was it, right? It's not like he could go and he could chat with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and say, like, hey, how are you going to handle your meeting? Like, how's your hearing going? That couldn't happen. Guerrero was settled. Everybody else was settled. Bo Bichette was alone. He was isolated. He was kind of on this lonely island right now where it's like he didn't really know what was going on, how much money he was going to get paid. Now he doesn't need to think about it for this year or the following years, which is just great. It just clears your mind up 100%.
Well, let's talk about how much he's going to get paid, because I see y'all in the chat talking about it. We just wanted to give our 2 cents about the actual arbitration first, but let's look at it here, folks. Ben Nicholson-Smith coming out with a tweet saying, one industry source suggests something like $33.5 million would be a reasonable total for Bo Bichette's 3 arbitration years in the range of 6, 11, and 16.5, give or take Blue Jays. Interesting.
Okay.
So it looks like they didn't choose one side or the other, the 7.5 or 5.
Right.
They went 6. But hey, if we go in the middle and meet 6, we'll guarantee 11 and 16.5.
Right, and I do want to come out and say right now that this is a suggested thing.
Suggested. This isn't confirmed.
We have no idea if this is accurate or not. We will absolutely update you guys once we get a confirmed number. This is just what apparently one industry source, whatever the hell that means, is coming out and suggesting. From my standpoint, the $6 million I like that.
I like that. I think it's a good idea.
I think, honestly, like, I know that you couldn't kind of meet in the middle sort of thing. If you were going to do the arbitration process, it was either 5 or it was going to be 7.5.
Yeah.
But I think that 6 is a lot more in line with what Bo Bichette is actually worth and what he's proven on the field and, like, what we should pay him. So I love that. The $11 million, considering Vladdy's getting paid 14.5, that kind of seems in the range of right. Rightness for Bo Bichette.
And what arbitrations would do from a $6 million standpoint, you would increase it to around that $11 million range for
exactly.
sure.
And then the 16.5, I mean, that's definitely like getting to be a decent amount. But if you've put in, 2-3 years now of like solid performances, like I do think that you'd probably be worth that in RB.
Absolutely. I mean, you led the league in hits twice in a row while you as a rookie. If Bo Bichette is going to increase at all defensively, and I'm going to give Bo Bichette credit, by year 3 of arbitration, he shouldn't be this bad defensively. It's hard to get a lot worse. It's hard to get a lot worse.
Right? Don't put anything past him, but
right. But it's hard to get a lot worse. And guys, with repetition and with age in baseball, you see it time and time again. Marcus Simeon's a great example I always bring up. When he came to the league, he sucked.
Right.
He sucked defensively. And then what did he do right at the end of his UFA years, his rookie contract, his arbitration years? He wins a Gold Glove with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Right? And then he gets paid. Right? So I'm not going to put anything by him. Right? I am going to say, like, I think he is going to get better. He's going to win a Gold Glove? I don't know.
Right.
We'll see.
No, I do tend to agree with you. And again, like, shortstop is probably the toughest defensive position out there. Like, it is very, very difficult. And you see time and time again, older guys, like, they don't really get into their prime until they are kind of in the middle of their career, defensively speaking. Sometimes you get anomalies, like, Frankie Lindor was exceptional when he came up, but not everybody is like that. So hopefully Bo Bichette is on an upward trajectory. Looking at this deal, looking that we've locked him in apparently for these 3 years, what do you think this means in terms of a longer term extension? What does this look like? Does it not only does this help Bo Bichette, is there any more flexibility in having those conversations with Guerrero now that you know exactly how much Bo Bichette's going to get paid? With Matt Chapman, for instance, I'm throwing these names out here right now, but now that you know exactly what it is going to be on the books, like Bo Bichette is going to make X amount of dollars, maybe $11 million next year, right? Do you think that this helps or hinders in Bo Bichette's extension or anybody else's extension?
I think for Bo Bichette, this puts a pin in it. I truly do believe it looks like this is a pin in it deal. We'll deal with this at another time.
Right.
Let's guarantee your money so you can focus on baseball. We're not playing this little dance. We don't want to piss you off.
Yeah.
You're a cornerstone, right? And as much as we criticize his defense, he's a cornerstone of the Toronto Blue Jays,
100%.
folks. The Blue Jays wouldn't be the Blue Jays without Bo Bichette. Let's say that frankly here.
He is part of the core for sure.
Right. But does that mean he's going to deserve an extension to be part of the core further beyond the last year of his arbitration, quote unquote, of that $16.5 million, quote unquote? I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know that right now. They're putting a pin in it, focus on baseball. We'll talk about that once we get a lot closer, maybe closer like Jose Ramirez during the last 2 years of your deal.
Yeah, and I think, again, like this kind of just postpones the process and leaves it for, later to be discussed. So kind of to answer my own question there about for some other guys, I think, this is going to help some other guys because it just automatically means shout it and thank you to the person who just subscribed.
Peter Camp.
This is a perfect opportunity for us to ask the 227 legends in here right now to hit the like button. Is it possible to get a like spike going, guys? Can we bump this thing up to 69 likes or more? That would be awesome. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel already, then definitely make sure to do so. We are literally on this thing immediately. We are always breaking the biggest Blue Jays and MLB news here, so you definitely want to be part of this community if you aren't already.
I like that.
Going back to what I was saying, talking about these other gentlemen, other dudes, of course this is going to help other guys potentially get an extension.
For sure.
Because now, like you've said, it's off my radar. I don't need to think about Bo Bichette right now. Like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you are the fish that I need to fry in this current moment. Matt Chapman, you are the guy that needs to be dealt with today. Right? It's like, I think that just like really streamlines the process, and as far as the management is concerned, like, this is what we are zeroing in on today. Bo Bichette, 2024, it's you now.
And from a player perspective, look, I know a lot of people, because Bo Bichette and Vladdy coming up around the same time. Obviously, I think Vladdy's a little bit further in his contract. But them coming up around the same time was like, oh, well, you can't give one an extension without giving the other an extension.
Yeah.
Right? And now that you've quote-unquote given Bo an extension, I know that term is used lightly because it's not beyond his free agent years. Shout out to Alejandro. Let's go. We love Alejandro's here. Mm-hmm. But you're dealing with it for now. You're satisfying. And to be frank, Bo Bichette is more secure with his future with the Blue Jays than Vladdy. Shout out to Vincent. What's up? So now I think it is a good opportunity where you can go over to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., get that extension done, right? I'm not even talking about Matt Chapman because that's a whole other topic. We can go on that for days.
Whole other basket case right there.
Right? But if you go over to talk to Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s camp, say, hey, let's lock up your future, and it won't piss Bo Bichette off or hurt his or hurt his camp because you've already done that. And I think Vladdy understands it too. I mean, they're literally in arbitration talks, so they get that deal done. Now I'm really interested to see what we do with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
I completely agree, dude. Also, shout out quickly here to Justice for Matt Gage. Should have been Matt Gage. Matt Gage got done real dirty. Real dirty. I came out here. I said it immediately. Like, that was done real dirty. I don't want to completely derail this conversation, but like, he had upside.
Real quick note. When did we DF him? Last week. Yes. And last week, we should know if we keep him or not. I don't think anyone.
He's gone.
So who picks him up?
I don't think anybody. He's just gone. It's a mutual decision. He's gone. It was released like yesterday or 2 days ago.
He was released?
Like, he's gone now. He's not on the team. It's Matt Gage.
I thought he was DFA'd.
Like, yes, but then nobody. I don't know. I got a Twitter update, man. Like, somebody correct me in the chat right here, but it's I
swear to God,
yeah, like literally,
I'm gonna fight. I love Ross Atkins, but why did you do Matt Gage so dirty?
It was so stupid.
Why?
It was absolutely ridiculous. Answering a few comments right here. Constantine coming in asking if we're going to stream any World Baseball Classic matches. Absolutely, we will. Pretty much any Canada match, I think that we need to get on. Yeah, I mean, like, we're a Blue Jays channel here. If you like the Blue Jays, you probably like Canada as well.
Of course.
And I mean, like, we're Canadian boys.
Literally
Canadian boys right here.
What's
It's
up?
like, this only happens every 4 years, so we got to do that.
Yeah.
And also do shout out to, literally, somebody just subscribed here.
Nigel
saying,
what's up,
just
Nigel?
subscribe. You guys rock. Thank you, Nigel. We appreciate all of our new subscribers.
Yeah.
Looking at this Bo Bichette deal once again, let's pull up his stats really quickly here.
Let's do it. Let's talk about Bo Bichette.
And just discuss, like, what he needs to improve on if he wants to be on this team longer.
Right.
Batting-wise, I need to see a little bit more consistency. Somebody came in here and kind of commented and said, why are you guys getting on Bo Bichette for his, lack of consistency when hitting when he's led the league in hits 2 years in a row.
Right.
I completely, 100% understand what you are saying with that. However, when you look at his splits, when you look at his first half and his second half, this is a different player. We need Bo Bichette to start hot and to finish hot. If we could spread out that's the thing.
He hit 406 in September, October, man.
He was the best player at the end of the season. He was the best player.
That's insane. And look, like these months, the batting average is nicer for sure. The batting average isn't bad. He started off real cold, but you look at that OPS. Shout out who just subscribed. Thank you so much. This isn't second to Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But we need more consistency. Like, if he showed up, if he spread out that OPS throughout the whole year, maybe we do win a couple more games.
100%.
Who knows? And consistency is the best quality any player could have.
And I think that with a deal like this, what the Blue Jays are saying and what Bo Bichette is saying is, let's put this stuff on pause because I'm valuing myself at $7.5 million. You're valuing me at $5 million. I think we can both agree that both of those numbers are probably bullshit.
Yep.
But I think both parties can kind of be realistic here and say, listen, we don't want to trade you. We don't want there to be any bad blood. We want you to succeed. This is your 3 years to prove it.
Right.
This is your 3 years to show us that more consistency. And I guarantee, this is probably part of these conversations right here. I'm just speculating.
Right. I'm down. I'm loving it.
But it's like, part of these conversations, I would imagine, is these are your 3 years to show us. Don't worry about the contract. You show us this, we give you your $250 million.
Dude, and I think Bo Bichette's not that ignorant of his defense. Of course he knows he's not a good defender. Of course, he likes to try to get better. That's a whole different conversation. I think he's trying to get better. You see the work he puts in before the games. He worked probably harder than anybody on the team to improve defensively. Why? Because he knows he's not that good. I mean, I can literally highlight the point right here. But point being is, shut up really quick, to Blue Jays Talk. What's up, Blue Jays Talk? Point being is, yeah, maybe they said that $7.5 million arbitration because they wanted to get a deal done.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, okay, well, we're not going to pay you $7.5 million. Maybe we'll meet you in the middle to sign a multi-year deal. That's the only way it's going to get done.
Yeah, because I think at this point, right, like you're looking at Bo and he's valuing himself higher than you are, and at the end of the day, you want him on this team long term. We're getting comments coming in here from Nigel saying, is Bo about the money or does he want to actually be here long term? Time will tell. I mean, I think he can be about both.
Absolutely.
I think he can be about both, right?
Absolutely.
And I think, like, all the respect to him, you deserve to get paid. You've worked really hard. You've spent your whole life on baseball. You deserve your money. I would also like to see you in Blue Jays Blue for as long as you want to be here for.
100%.
So I think you can have both, and I think that's where they're at right now. I also think as well, when you're looking at a deal like this, and I don't want to come off as blasphemous because I know Jays fans are going to, at me in the comments and come at me and come for my throat here, but if there was, God forbid, a time where, Blue Jays, we're not doing as good as we thought we were going to do. We're not doing as good as we thought we were going to do.
We're not making playoffs.
We're not making playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't this year. Maybe this is next year. We're not making playoffs.
Right.
Crap is hitting the fan right now. The calls are coming in about a Bo Bichette trade. It is a lot easier to get a trade done when the other team knows exactly how much money he is going to cost.
Yeah.
It is a lot easier to make that trade happen if this is exactly how much money he is, and it's over there.
I'll say this. This is probably a 5% scenario. Like, this is probably very slim.
Exactly.
But I hear what you're saying, but it's very slim chance.
I'm 100% not saying that it is going to... I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm just saying that, in the back of the team's mind, right... That's just an added benefit of getting this done. If it ever was to happen. Just throwing it out there.
Also, shout out to Kara who gifted one Blue Jays Today membership. You can gift memberships?
What the hell?
How? We just started our membership program, so guys, this is a good moment to shout out to all of our YouTube members. You'll see little foam fingers. They kind of look like wieners, honestly. But so shout out to Kara who's gifting one membership.
And to Scott.
To Scott.
Scott.
Oh, Scott!
Shout out
Congratulations!
to Scott. There you go, Scott. Thank you.
Wow, I didn't know you could do that.
I had no idea that could even be a thing that happened.
Hey, and there's Scott. And Scott just subscribed. Welcome, Scott. You're a member now, bro.
Literally. Thank you to everybody who's watching along with us right now, to the 337 people. We're 10 likes away from 100. We'd really appreciate it if we can get there. And Carol, you're a legend for doing that.
Thank
Scott,
you, Carol.
welcome to the membership.
Yeah.
Vincent's coming in here with a question talking about potentially going out and signing Manny Machado if he opts out of his deal. I mean, I love, going into fantasy land right here, Vincent, and diving into that. Shout out and thank you to
Blue Jays Talk again.
Blue Jays Talk. keep doing it. They just love to see their name pop up.
Yeah.
But I think that the bigger question that we can kind of extrapolate from that too is, what does this mean for, infield free agents in general, maybe, because Manny Machado is obviously the cream of the crop when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And also, and this is a big one here, what about shortstop for Bo Bichette? Is this his position for the next 3 years? Is that what we did? Did we just stamp it and say this is your position for the next 3 years?
I think so.
Or is there any potential rotation that could go down at some point?
I think so, man. I mean, I think it is you're stapling in Bo Bichette. I think you got to. I mean, look, obviously, when you play Fantasyland, you move Espinal over there, you move Bo Bichette over there, but I don't think that's. I mean, I bet details might come out. I wouldn't be shocked. Shout out to Matt. I wouldn't be shocked if. Details came out saying, well, Bo Bichette's expecting to play short or something like that, because there's a lot of talk in the air of this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're signing with a team, you want to know what you want to play, and with going into free agency, he wants to be a shortstop, because why? They get paid the most.
Yeah, of course.
No one's paying like a second baseman lots of money unless you're Marcus Semien.
Look at how much money Xander Bogaerts just made when he's 31 years old.
Exactly.
It's insanity.
And Bo Bichette's camp might play that in. Like, look, I want to advertise this guy as a shortstop. He could get better defensively.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's work that. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a hidden clause or something at all. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Blue Jays Talk, who didn't subscribe, became a member.
Wow,
What's up, Blue Jays Talk?
Yeah, they're just rising through the ranks.
Let's
quickly,
go.
Man.
Let's go.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it.
Shout out to Dally Wally.
Right there. Guys, let's take a quick moment right now to look and see if any news is broke about the contract details. We are going to continue this live stream for a little while because we got so many people in here. We want to answer your questions, but we are going to cut it off relatively soon just for rewatchability time.
Yeah.
Stay with us, though. We are going to stay live. We're definitely going to stay live. And it looks like nothing else has broken as far as exactly what the contract details are.
Yeah.
The latest thing that we heard is that $33.5 million seems reasonable.
Also, just quick shout out to Chapman Time. I watch this guy all the time on Twitter. I got my peaches out in Georgia. That was Bo Bichette's walk-up song, so I absolutely love it. He's a legend. Go follow him if you haven't already. But yeah, just like Nick's saying, nothing really coming to surface about details, but yeah, we will be live continuing. Hopefully something comes out soon.
Yeah, so here, for everybody who is rewatching right now, if you're live, stick with us, but if you are rewatching this, final thoughts from me are, I like this move a lot. I like that we avoided the drama, because all of this drama, that can be put to bed for a little while. I like that we worked on creating a, kind of like a, what's that fucking word that I'm trying to use right now? When you're doing something together? No, it's like we're, like this is...
Union.
Starts with a C. Word.
Camaraderie.
No. Like. Wow. Okay.
We're blank.
Late in the evening right now, but it's a good thing that they did it. It's a good thing.
Well, my final thoughts. I mean, I'm kind of echoing your thoughts, honestly. I'm glad that Bo Bichette is gonna focus on baseball now, because that was my big fear, is that we'd have this like bleeding drama into the season. Or how is Bo Bichette gonna react? Is he gonna make any comments to the media? And we'd have to make videos on it and make a whole like episode on it. So I'm glad that it's settled. Drama's gone. Bo Bichette's a Blue Jay for the next 3 years, at least if there's no 5% scenario of a trade. Yeah. Love it. And go Jays go. That's what I'm saying.
Go Jays go. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
And go Jays go. Let's go.